Thanks for inviting us in. It's now 6 o'clock and we begin tonight with this effort to lower property taxes here in Indiana. This issue was front and center during the gubernatorial campaign.
Our 13 News reporter Emily Longnecker has a look at the proposal to lower property taxes and also explains what it would mean for homeowners and homeowners' communities. Emily?
Well, Senate Republicans took Governor Braun's proposal for lowering property taxes and put it all into Senate Bill 1. And while lawmakers were hearing testimony this morning for and against that proposal, the governor was talking to two homeowners about what it's been like to open their property tax bills over the past few years.
Ours has gone up $200 a month since we bought our house.
That was 10 years ago. Since then, Mark Gross, who lives in Franklin, says his property taxes have doubled.
Every year you're getting that bill from your mortgage company saying, hey, we need more money. We need more money.
Senate Bill 1 would increase home deductions and cap how much property taxes could increase in the future. Lawmakers on the Senate's Tax and Fiscal Policy Committee heard testimony today about Senate Bill 1. Property taxes fund local services like police and fire. Several mayors and county officials testified about how cuts in property tax revenue could impact those services.
Making so many changes all at once may jeopardize the whole system. Kosciuszko County is expected to drop $12 million. That's a pretty big belt tightening for us.
There's no way to avoid cuts in public safety. It's one thing to want to say to taxpayers that you cut their taxes. It's another when you have to be honest with them about cutting their services as well.
Carmel's mayor said the cuts would be devastating to other local services, but said Carmel would not compromise public safety.
I'm not going to look a mom in the eye and say I can't get to your house when a child is ill or needing a hospital. We are going to find ways, any way possible, to make sure that public safety is number one.
Governor Braun said he understands some costs of services have gone up because of inflation, but not at the rate property taxes have gone up.
Local governments, school districts are generally going to be run in a more efficient way. But that doesn't mean they can't find ways to do things better.
Senate Bill 1, the governor's proposal for lowering property taxes, is not in its final state. The committee looking at this bill today did not vote on it. The committee's chairman, Republican Senator Travis Holdman, said that the committee was going to hold the bill, meaning they didn't vote on it. That could happen next week after lawmakers have a chance to make some amendments to it. At the Indiana State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
The proposed bill also changes when schools and communities can hold referenda to raise property taxes. We break down exactly how it would impact your property tax bill if you go to our website right now at WTHR.com.
On the heels of the wildly successful WWE Royal Rumble last week here in Indy, State Rep Mike Andrade wants to amend a bill requiring the Indiana Sports Corporation to invest in ways to fund, attract, and promote more professional wrestling events here in Indiana.
That money would come from the statewide Sports and Tourism Bid Fund. This is a grant program that helps support and bring events to Indiana every year. 6:02, we're at that time of the year where this is about the time when the sun is setting, and that's going to make it a little bit cooler. Boy, it was cooler today, but we didn't have all the mix and mess that we're going to be getting at this time tomorrow.
Yeah, so get ready.
Get ready. This time tomorrow, that mess will include some rain, freezing rain, and sleet with some minor icing potential. We're going to be keeping you updated. The big story today, as Ann and Scott pointed out, you needed the heavy coat. Quite a bit colder. We're in the 30s, 37 Carmel, 37 Crawfordsville. The outlier here is Brown County at 43, but this time yesterday, we were in the 60s. We do have winter weather advisories posted from the northwestern sections of our state back through northern Illinois into Iowa and Missouri. We expect these to be a little farther east in the coming hours. Right now, central Indiana is below advisory criteria, but still the potential for a glazing of ice from Lafayette to Kokomo into Muncie and Richmond. More impacts likely the farther north you go. Tomorrow starts dry, so no issues, but tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, we have rain, sleet, and freezing rain in the forecast with those minor ice accumulations possible. I'm going to slow this down, have the local timeline for you in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Angela. A Pendleton man accepted a plea deal this afternoon for causing a drunk driving crash that killed one man, injured 3 others in another car on the near north side of Indy.
Rich Knight takes us inside the courtroom for Connor Gaskell's guilty plea and the potential sentence.
You were the one that caused the death while operating while intoxicated.
Yes, Your Honor.
Connor Gaskill admitted to running a stop sign at 24th and Delaware after a night of drinking at Bottle Works in September 2022. Gaskill's white Honda Accord T-boned a Lyft ride, killing 22-year-old passenger Rashid Conte. Conte's brother, a friend, and the Lyft driver all suffered serious injuries. The plea agreement limits any prison sentence to 4 years. Gaskill did not take a breathalyzer or blood test after the crash.
Responding officers on scene failed to read Indiana's implied consent warning for fatal or serious bodily injury crashes, and Connor Gaskill was released from the scene.
Those officers were disciplined. Conte's mother provided a family statement at Tuesday's hearing. Rashid was the heart of our family, and the harm Mr. Gaskill has inflicted cannot be measured by any sentence he serves. Conte's family told me they are waiting for on-camera interviews until after the sentencing, February 24th. Rich Knight, 13 News.
The Marion County prosecutor has now dismissed all the criminal charges against an out-of-state landlord accused of not paying nearly $2 million in utility bills for 4 apartment complexes here in Indianapolis. The prosecutor's office says that charges of corrupt business influence and theft were dismissed after Cham Peretz of New York paid full restitution of over $500,000 to the city of Indianapolis. Our cameras were there when Citizens Energy briefly turned off the water at 2 apartment complexes back in 2022 until the city stepped in to make an emergency payment. Well, tonight we're seeing an increase in children coming down with a variety of illnesses, including the common cold, the flu, even whooping cough.
That's according to some doctors here in central Indiana. Karen Campbell shares advice for keeping your family healthy.
'Tis the season for cold and flu. Marion County health officials say last week there was nearly a 32% increase of children ages 5 to 17 being treated in emergency departments for influenza-like symptoms. Doctors are saying flu, COVID, and whooping cough that's impacting some schools. Beech Grove and Anderson schools had an uptick in absences due to illnesses. Dr. Trenton Schmalley with Riverview Health says good hygiene is key to stay safe.
Washing hands with soap and water frequently. If you're going to be out in public, try not to touch your face. I have young kids myself, and when we see them like hold on to all the railings and just rub everything and rub their face and body, my wife and I just kind of cringe. If people are sick and they're touching those things as well, there's a good chance that you could also get sick.
Dr. Schmalley says if you're feeling sick, stay home. In Indianapolis, Karen Campbell, 13 News.